Hi, I'm Ruts and welcome to my homestead. Hi, I have a little cool thing that I want to share with you. It's an old technique that they used throughout Europe early on. It started back in the 1550s and it went on until like the late 1800s. It is basically using growing walls or fruit walls. I'm going to show you here. Now, tomato plants shouldn't be put outside until it's like on average like 12 degrees probably. But this is Norway, so I'm cheating a little bit. In England, they built stone walls and they planted like exotic fruit trees against the stone walls, because that way the stone walls absorb the sun and releases the heat from the sun so that the temperature is more stable. And this is kind of like my version. This is the wall from the foundation of my house, and this is like everything grows here, and it grows super good. So this is like a warmer spot. So this is what I'm gonna do. So there is a little bit of wind today. Okay, here we go. So basically the ground here is fairly okay. The dirt is very good. I've been growing tomato plants here before and they were happy about this place. So let me just put my phone down for a minute. Yeah, tomatoes are awesome. I love them. Okay, I'm putting the mix in the hole and mixing it a little bit in the ground. Putting down the tomato plant. I'm removing the lower leaves because those are like nutrition thieves. So I just removed the ones that were down here. And these little things here, they actually are able to grow roots. So I plant them a little bit deeper. You cannot do this with cucumbers. Cucumbers are very different. But with the tomato plants, you can basically cover them up a little bit on the stem. I was thinking to water the hole before I put the tomato plant in, but it was actually quite okay here because it's been raining. And again, I'm going to show you when I'm done. I make an indent. I make like a small hole in the ground so that it will collect the water. So this way I can basically it's easier to water this way. Okay, let us see. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got the chihuahua. Okay, so what I did, I made like a little hole so the water can gather, as I said. And I'm putting the stick, it's a little bit tall, but the tomato plant is going to grow. And since it's a little bit windy, I'm going to take and bind the tomato plant to the stick. Now, living in a colder climate like in Norway, it's a challenge to grow tomatoes. You really need a greenhouse or a hot, warm spot to make them grow. And but it's so wonderful. Now, a lot of people have the problem that the tomato plants, they're not, they don't ripen. They keep a little bit, they become green, but they don't become red. And so, but you can actually do a lot of things with green tomatoes too. You can put them in a solution like sylta. I don't remember the English word for that. You can fry them, and they're actually quite good. So here we go. My first tomato plant outside this year. What I'm gonna do is that I'm basically gonna have this one as a test guinea pig animal. So this is the same principle. So let me just explain. There's east, there's south, west and north. So here you have the sun coming all day. Sorry about that. And the sunlight gets absorbed by the wall, so that this increases the temperature with almost 10 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Fahrenheit, which means that you can grow exotic things here. And remember, this is not my greenhouse, this is just growing outside. And still, look at the beautiful yield. This is cherry tomatoes that have been growing outside. The only difference that I'm doing here is that I'm using this drip irrigating system. I have my hose here. And this way, things grow like crazy. When I discovered this technique about growing to the southern wall, it's something we've been doing in Norway for a long time, but I didn't know that it had been used to the extent it was being used in Europe. So this is like, you know, whatever you can use that is free, renewable energy, it is awesome. So while I'm at it, I just want to show you my companion growing here. These are the old type of peppermint. It's not spearmint, this is actually peppermint. It's super strong and super good. And it does quite well with the tomatoes. And I noticed that the ones growing next to the tomatoes, they become taller. They kind of like thrive on each other. So that is kind of cool. Hi, Inspector James. So basically, if you have something with high thermal mass, southern exposure, it will protect against the winds coming from the north. Like, I mean, if the wind was coming from the other side of the house, the cold wind, this would be protected. Yeah. So, talking about renewable stuff. This, these, just old jars. When my kales were babies, I just put these under there. And that was actually the start of the greenhouse. They had glass bottles covering. That is something that works awesome too. Yeah, so it worked. My kales are getting there. Everything is cool. But anyway, back to the wall before I go off. If you have a espalier, if you have like wood beams going crisscross here, you could grow fruit trees, and you can prune the fruit trees so that you can actually produce exotic fruits against these walls. So, comparing the greenhouse and the tomatoes in the greenhouse with the fruit wall outside will be very interesting. Remember, the greenhouse is a greenhouse. You all know about greenhouses. What's special about the fruit wall? Well, it absorbs the sunlight during the day. The heat goes into the wall. It releases out throughout the night. It's warmer, it's more protected, but it's still exposed. So, let us see what we have here in the greenhouse. Let's see which one is doing better, the indoor tomato in the greenhouse or... So, as you can see, my tomatoes are going through the roof here. These ones are still blooming. Yes, they are. And we have some babies here. And we have these ones. Where are they? Yeah. These are fairly okay, but the ones outside were even bigger. Now look at this one. We got a twin. Anyway, so let me see. Do we have any more here? These ones are also good, but actually it looks like the experiment is showing that the outdoor yield is actually better when growing against a stone wall or a thermal wall. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Right, Inspector James? Nah, he doesn't think it's interesting today. Hey, James! Hey! He's guarding. Okay, so with that, we have concluded the experiment. So, just a little quick update. Just one of those cool principles. that makes you enjoy your growing season, especially in the colder climates. This is kind of like good things to think about. I'm sure but most of you are already doing this, but I didn't know that it was such a big industry in Europe. When I discovered that, I was thinking, wow, this is something that, you know, is really renewable energy. So going into my weekend, I just want to wish you guys a good day, and bye for now.